What's up, good people? It's your girl, Lady V here, your favorite travel agent, of course, and I'm here to bring you my top 10 cruise tips that I think you all would enjoy. But before we get started, if you haven't already done so, like and subscribe to my channel for all the latest cruise news, travel tips, and more. Stay tuned. Cruise tip number one. Once you book your cruise, the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is download the cruise app. Whether it's with Carnival or Royal Caribbean, download the ship's cruise app. If it's Royal, download Royal. If it's Carnival, download Carnival Hub. That way you can have everything up to date right at your fingertips. You have the restaurant menu. You can check in on your app. You can select what boarding time. You also have access to excursions that you would want to book. Everything is right on the app, and you're definitely going to need that. Also, once you get on board, you'll have access to the chat feature that you can chat with everyone on board. It's just a great thing to have. And now, as of today's date, October 26, 2021, you do your muster drill right on the app. You used to have to just gather at a certain section of the ship, and they will go over what to do in case of emergency. If there's a mayday, they go over the different tones and how to put on a safety vest, excuse me, a life vest. But now you could do everything on that on the ship app, and then after that, you still have to report to your muster station and check and have them check off that you've responded. And then after that, you just enjoy the rest of your day. So just make sure you download the cruise app once you book your cruise and have everything right at your fingertips, restaurant menus, everything. Cruise tip number two. Avoid flying in the day of your cruise. You always want to fly in a day before. That way you have time to relax. It's not so stressful. And with all these cancellations, honey, going on, the last thing you want to do is fly in the day of and your flight get canceled or delayed. And then you miss your cruise. Then you have to miss a day and fly into the next port. It's just too much hassle, boo-boo. And of all them points I done spent on this cruise, I want to enjoy every bit of it. I'm not going to miss not one day, all because I decided to fly in the day of, and due to a flight cancellation or delay, I miss my embarkation. We're not doing that, honey. So trust me, save yourself some headache and stress, and always fly in the day before. Cruise tip number three. You always want to bring on a carry-on suitcase or a backpack. I prefer a backpack. You don't want to pack it too heavy because remember, you're going to be walking around with this until your room is ready. Usually when you get on board, your room is not ready and your luggage will not be in your room until later that afternoon, evening, unless you book a suite or you're a diamond platinum member. Your room will not be ready until sometime after 3, and your luggage may not be in your room until sometime after 4 or 5 o'clock. So you always want to make sure in your carry-on that you have your medications, all of your travel documents, and your money, any kind of credit card information. You always want to have like an electronic, your tablet or your laptop, and also a bathing suit if you want to take a dip in the pool, and even a change of clothes later that evening for when you go to your main dining room for dinner. Always bring the essential items that you need in your carry-on because your luggage may not get to your room till 6, 7 o'clock that night, and at least you have a change of clothes and your essential items that you need to get you through. Cruise tip number 4. Honey, print out everything. Print out all your hotel reservation, honey, your cruise transfers, your COVID test results, anything that you can print out, print it out as a backup and carry it with you in your carry-on bag. Why? Because you can't depend on electronics to work for you. One thing you want to hate to do is when you go up to board and you have your phone out for them to scan a QR code to figure out your test results, and your phone dies or it doesn't happen to come on. You never want to rely on electronics. You know how the electronics can be. So you always want to have a backup, have everything printed out for that backup just in case you need it. Cruise tip number 5. Bring a first aid kit. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can go to Dollar Tree or you look at Dollar General, wherever, just to get a small carry-on first aid kit for Band-Aids, Neosporin, a gauze pad, just something light. You never know, you might be on the beach and cut your foot on a seashell, stone, whatever, and you have your own personal first aid kit without having to go to the medical on board. So just keep that in mind, especially if you have kids as well. Just bring a first aid kit. It, again, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Go right to your Dollar Tree, honey, and just have it just in case you need it. Cruise tip number 6. Now, when bringing your medications, they must be in their own prescription bottle. Not your mama's, not your sister's, not your husband's, yours. It must be a prescription label on there with your name on it, with the type of medication that says on here needs to be in this bottle. You cannot mix medications. You cannot bring a pill case with different medications in it. It must be in a prescription bottle with your name on it. You can bring ibuprofen in its own pack, stuff like that, but you cannot mix different medications. You can't have your diabetical medication in here along with your high blood pressure and your vitamin D. It has to be in its own separate prescription medication bottle. Just keep that in mind. Cruise tip number 7. As soon as you get on board, if you're able to, go straight to your muster station, check in, and then that's off your list. I mean, most time when people get on board, the first thing they want to do is go eat, of course, because by the time you get on the ship, you're hungry. And the first thing you want to do is hit up Guy's Burger if it's Carnival, or go to the Lido deck to get to the buffet, whatever. But if you do that, right after that, then just go to your muster station, because the last thing you want to do is hold up everybody from cruising because you didn't do your muster drill, okay? It's quick and painless. Get it done. Don't wait till the last minute, because you don't want to be that one person that's causing everybody to not be able to cruise because you did not go to your muster drill. You will not be able to cruise without going on it. Cruise tip number 8. I feel like everybody was already doing this even before the pandemic, but if you're not, bring Lysol wipes. You know, when you get to your room, wipe down the doorknob, wipe down the mailbox, wipe down the door outside, wipe down the bathroom, the toilet, everything, your bedstand. Just wipe down everything. Of course, your room is already clean and sanitized, excuse me, before you even get on board, but it's good to just double check and go behind and wipe down your doorknob again, and just make sure it's double clean. There's nothing wrong with that. So bring some Lysol wipes with you, boo. Cruise tip number 9. Wait toward the end of the cruise before you actually shop and buy things at the gift shops on board the cruise ship, because as each day goes, you get another discount and then another discount. So for example, day 1, it may be a 10% discount. Day 2 may be a 25% discount. And as you get towards the end of your cruise, there will be an even bigger discount. So again, wait towards the end of the cruise before you actually buy things at the gift shops, because there will be discounts and bigger discounts as the cruise is getting ready to come to an end. Cruise tip number 10. Sorry if it's a little dark. My light went out. Honey, put your phone on airplane mode. Listen to me. As soon as you board, you can do it before you board. Put your phone on airplane mode, because if not, you will get roaming charge after roaming charge. And the last thing you want after coming off a cruise ship is getting a letter in the mail saying that you owe $1,000 because of roaming charges. Put your phone on airplane mode, okay? Disconnect from the internet, disconnect from social media. You're on vacation. Just enjoy. You can't get phone calls on there. You could do video calls if you do have the internet package, and you can still do that with your phone on airplane mode. But just make sure before you board, or even as soon as you get on board, before the ship leaves, put your phone on airplane mode. Look, after getting off a cruise ship, you're already mad because you gotta go back to work. So the last thing you want to do is get some piece of mail saying that you owe $1,000 on your phone bill. It's gonna make you double mad. So listen, put your phone on airplane mode. If you don't remember anything else on about these tips, put your phone on airplane mode, okay? All right, I hope you've enjoyed my 10 cruise tips. I will be back with more on how to pack a carry-on suitcase and other stuff along the way. So again, thank you for tuning in to Lady V TV, and more will be coming up soon.